Well, again this afternoon, Mr. Wilkin and I have come to interview Mr. Mutwale to tell us more about medical work in Gasempa district and a brief history about himself and his family. The time now actually is called 15 hours, and today is 14th November 1978. Now, Mr. Mutwale, we would like you to tell us more about medical work in Gasempa district and about your education, training in medical school, and where exactly you have worked. Now, my first question is just to find out exactly when you were born, in what village, in whose chief's area.
And I was born in 1914 in Mutwale village in Chief Kasonso, Gasempa district.
That time, Chief Kasonso was actually a recognized chief, like the four chiefs that we have now, namely Chief Gasempa, Chief Mushima, Chief Ingwe, and Chief Chizera.
Yes, he was recognized as the chief at that time.
Now, that time you were born, of course, there were no schools in Gasempa district. But where did you go to school?
I went to Mumba school, Nambara Mission, in 1929.
Oh, 1929.
Yes.
Now, how did you know that there was school in that area?
I had one man who came from Mumba district, and I really coveted at him when he was reading some books. So I decided that I should go to that school of Nambara Mission to go and read, learn to read the books, yes.
Now, at that school actually, were there many pupils, boys and girls, or you were only a few?
No, there were many boys only. And by that time, the government was not stopping even married men to attend the school, at that school.
Oh, that was interesting. Yes. So even people actually with wives went to that school?
They went to that school. Mainly because there was much work to be done at that mission.
Yes.
Yes.
What about yourself? Were you married by then?
No, I was not married.
You were not?
I was just about 12 years of age.
Oh, by the way.
Yes.
You were one of the youngest pupils there.
Exactly.
At the school. Now, did you pay any fees, or you were just a day pupil, or you were a boarder?
No. Yes, I was a boarder, but we were not paying any fees, not at all.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh, that's very good. Now, who were your teachers?
My teacher was Mr. Andrew Munanyinda.
Munanyinda?
Yes.
A Zambian?
A Zambian, yes.
From what province?
From Central Province, that is Mumba.
Oh, from
in Chief Mono. Yes.
Oh, you still remember his name, and also you remember where he came from. That's very good.
Yes.
Yes. Now, how did you start actually? Did you begin in grade 1? Oh, by the way, no. In sub A, sub B, stand 1, 2, 3, and then onward to perhaps stand 6 or stand 4 only.
I started from sub A.
Yes.
Up to standard 3.
Stand 3.
Yes.
And then what did you do after stand 3? Did you go somewhere?
Then I was sent to Kafue. We had the first examination at that mission.
Yes.
Then those who had passed, then they had to be sent to Kafue, a training institute. By then, yes.
Now, how did you compare actually Kafue Training Institute and the? Now, did you say Nambara Mission?
Nambara Mission, yes.
Yes. Now, how did you compare the two schools? They both were actually mission schools, or Kafue was?
They were all mission schools.
Oh, yes. Now, how was it? How did you like going to Kafue school?
Well, I liked it very much to further my education. Yes.
Now, why not Kafue? Did you meet any other people from Kasempa district? Or
yes, exactly. Yes.
Yes,
exactly. I met Mr. late James Mlenga. Then Mr. Semu Irunga.
Yes.
Then Bernard Kivanza. Then Mr. Kalepa, Rimas Kalepa.
Yes.
And Mr. Rampen Kikuma. And Jairus Murevo.
Yes.
Yes. All these people came from Kasempa, Northwestern Province.
Now, if they came from Northwestern Province, now did they go to school in Northwestern Province first before they went to Kafue or they just started there?
No, some of them, of course, started their school here. And before they went to Kafue.
Yes. Question as well. Did you meet anyone from Chitokoloki? You've been in Chitokoloki?
No.
No one
who came from Chitokoloki.
That's very good. Now, why did you decide to go to Mumba instead of?
Yes, exactly. The nearest school we had is Mukinge Mission. Now, the difference was Mukinge Mission was not teaching English. It was only teaching once in a year.
Yes.
That means the Mukinge Mission was teaching English just in June, the month of June. Whilst at Nambara Mission, you see they were teaching English throughout the month, every day, almost every day. And this made me to decide that I should go and learn more about about this.
Was there any specific reason why they taught English only once a year?
Yes, exactly. Because here they wanted someone to be well educated in Kikaonde.
Yes.
So that he could read the Kikaonde fluently. Up to the highest was the Bible. When he read up to the Bible, then that man was regarded as educated.
Yes.
I mean, that is at Mukinge. Now, at Nambara Mission, the difference was one was educated from sub A up to standard 3.
Yes.
Then there, you see, they sat their first examination, and those who had passed, then they were sent to Kafue, where they had to complete their standard 4, starting from 4, 5 up to standard 6.
Standard 6.
Yes.
Now you say that Nambara Mission no fees actually were paid, but what about at Kafue? Did you pay any?
Yes, exactly. At Kafue I had to pay. All students had to pay £2.10, which is 5 kwacha.
£2.10 and 5 kwacha.
Yes.
Now you were there for 3 years. Stand 4, Stand 5, and Stand 6.
Yes.
So when you finished your Standard 6 at the Kafue Institute, now what did you do?
Then I decided to join the medical school, which was to be opened in 1936. On the 1st of October 1936. Why? I took my education at Kafue and practicing as a typist. Then there I got what a testimonial.
Yes.
Now I decided this was dangerous. Once I was discharged from the government by knowing only one job or one kind of job, then I will be nowhere. Then I must take another career. To be as a medical student. So I decided to go. I enrolled myself to go to the medical school in 1936.
Yeah.
Yes.
But did you do anything like typing, after you had qualified as a typist? Did you work as a typist?
Yes,
somewhere?
exactly. No, not actually, but I was tested at Lusaka. And to be taken on as a learner clerk. Now we were 2 of us. Mr. Tembo, I think you know him. He had been the teacher here. Yes, and then after typing, then you see, it was found the next morning that I had gone through my test.
Yes.
Then there, the DS, and the DC by that time. I was told that I was going to be sent to Kalomo see,
Mm-hmm.
and they start working there. Now when I decided during night time, I said, no, I was still a young man. Why should I go far away from my home, which is Kasempa? No. I just escaped and went away somewhere.
Yes.
Joined the medical school.
Ah.
Yes.
And this was at Mazabuka where you did the medical school, no?
No, that was at Lusaka.
Oh, Lusaka.
Yes. We were the first batch, of course, the first students to open that medical training school, 1936.
Yes.
Yes.
Now, but what interested you actually to get into medical school?
Exactly in 1931, I was working for a company contractor opening up this great East Road in 1931. Then during my work there, you see I had a tropical ulcer which was on my foot.
Yes.
It was a very big one. Now, when I came back from there, then I came to the hospital, then I was treated of this. Now, after I was treated, then when I was alright, I went back to school. Then I decided all my work should be taken to the hospital. All my interest, you see, fell in the hospital that I should be one of the doctors to heal others. So that is why I decided to join the medical school because of, you see, I had suffered first, then I said, well, these people are very kind, and I must join also the medical school.
Yes. Now you said actually that you were the first intake actually in the medical school. Could you remember how many you were at that time?
There were 24.
24?
Number, yes. Out of 24, only 14 passed.
Only 14 qualified as
yes.
medical. What did they call them? Medical assistants?
They were medical orderlies. We were
medical orderlies, by the way.
Yes.
How long was the course?
It was only 1 year. We were an emergency group.
On an emergency program.
Yes.
Would you have been the very first one to qualify from the Northwest Province?
Yes.
You're the only one in that.
I was the only one in Western, yes.
Now, after you had been qualified actually as a medical orderly, did you say?
Medical orderly.
Medical orderly, Now, where were you posted? Which was your first
I was posted to
station?
Ndola.
Oh.
Yes, having my first appointment, I was posted to Ndola. Yes, 1937.
And then you started working there?
I started working there.
Now, actually, that time you were not married yet?
No, not yet.
Now, how long did you stay at Ndora Hospital?
Ndora, I stayed in Ndora from 1937 to 1939.
1939.
Yes.
That's roughly 3 years.
Almost 3 years.
Yeah, about that. And then, which was your second station now?
The second station, I was posted back to Lusaka again. Yes, where I stayed for about 2 months. Then I was posted to Chinyunyu dispensary to open up a new dispensary in that area, in Chief Unda.
Yes.
Yes, in the Lusaka district.
Now, how were you respected by people actually, say, in the rural areas, how some of them might have called you Wadokota?
Yes, exactly.
Like that.
That was the name, which I was always called. I was a qualified doctor.
Yes.
Yes, and people respected me as a doctor who knows everything.
Yes.
Yes.
And they gave you white uniforms?
Uniforms, yes, exactly.
So at this rural, it wasn't a rural health center, was it?
No, it was a dispensary.
Dispensary.
Yes.
How long were you there?
I was there for almost 2 years.
2 years. And then from there, where did you go?
From there, then I was posted to Shuangandu to work, and Sir Stuart Goldbrown. Yes. At Shuangandu.
You said to work under him. What was he by then? So was he?
That is an estate. That was an estate, and he, having so many people employed there at the Shua estate, he decided to have a hospital his own hospital.
His own hospital.
So he sent his nephew, Dr. Monica,
Uh-huh.
who are now called Dr. Fishers.
Yes.
She went under training as a doctor there in South Africa. After she had qualified, then he decided to come and open up a hospital at Shwangandu there.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
And then you were there actually. You were sent there.
I was sent there. Then I found by that time Dr. Monica.
Mm-hmm.
She was on leave. Then I went with the new doctor, who was Dr. Kama. He's a German doctor. And then we were all new people at that place. Then I stayed there with him, worked for 1 year before the hospital was taken over by the government. And then in 1944, the government took over the hospital from SARS to go Brown.
And you were still at that.
I was still at that
hospital.
Yes.
Uh-huh. Now, yes, after being there for I don't know what number of years. Now, did you transfer again?
Yes, I was transferred.
And if you were, did you ask for this transfer, or you were just transferred?
Yes, I was just transferred from Shwangandu to Kasama Hospital.
Yes.
Yes.
To Kasama Hospital, that's right. Now you go to Kasama. Now, how do you compare to the Kasama Hospital and Shwangandu Hospital, actually, in the way of equipment and the members of staff?
Yes.
Were they on the same footing, or one was better than the other?
Yes.
Which one was better than the other?
Kasama. At Kasama, yes, because it's a bigger hospital. That's a provincial hospital, of course. I had about 2 doctors. Whereas at Shwangandu we had only 1 doctor and 1 sister.
Yes.
And at Kasama we had the matron there, and then a European hospital, as it was called, separate hospitals. 1 for Africans, 1 for Europeans. Now at this place, we had the provincial medical officer there, then 2 doctors, then sisters working in the wards.
Yes.
So we had even more experienced orderlies there. You see, looking after patients. Yes.
Now you say actually one was for the white people and one was for Africans. Now which one was better equipped than the other?
The European hospital was better. I mean, the European hospital was better equipped than the Africans.
Yeah, and it had better qualified doctors.
Doctors, yes. Actually, there was no difference. No, not at all.
No.
The same doctor that attended to the African hospital is exactly the same doctor who attended even to European hospital, European patients.
So the thing to want was Africans sleeping on the same base as whites.
Yes.
But otherwise, medicines and doctors,
exactly,
everything
the same.
What about the African medical orderlies? Did they work in the European hospital as well, or
no?
They were not allowed.
No, not allowed. Only sisters.
Only sisters.
Yes. Except if there was a serious case, you see, to be looked at after during night time. Then they thought Europeans, you see, it would be too much for them, for him or for her,
to sit
overnight. So they had to send an order there to do the whole job for toilet and other things like that. Yes.
Now, those actually who were chosen to do that, to go and work in the in the European hospital during the night, I thought that they were privileged. They were more privileged.
Exactly. Yes, they were more privileged than the other orderlies who remained at the African hospital. Yes.
Yes. Now, of course, at the time you completed your medical training, and then at the time you were at Kasama, you found actually that you had gained quite a lot
Yes, quite.
as a medical sort of a medical
Exactly.
orderly.
Exactly.
And you knew a lot of medicines, and you knew, of course, what type of medicine should be given for this kind of illness and so on like that.
Exactly.
Now, what illnesses actually were very common in those days?
The common diseases, were the VD. Yes, that is a venereal disease.
Yes.
Such as syphilis and gonorrhea. Yes.
But these type of diseases actually are not common these days. Could you tell us why? They don't seem to be...
Yes, exactly. They have found what the specific drugs.
Oh.
Yes.
How about yours? Did you have much?
Yes, yours we had, but not in town. But in the village, we had yours.
And what about
Leprosy.
Leprosy, right?
Leprosy, yes, we had many, more especially in Wapra Valley. Is where you can get these leper cases. Yes.
Well, after having worked at Kasama Hospital for a good number of years, now, did you transfer somewhere else? Or
yes, exactly. I was transferred to Kabalenje to open up the leper colony.
Oh, this is in Rapura?
Kabalenje, that is in Rapura.
Oh,
yes.
Yes?
That was opened in 1945 on 15th August 1945. Yes.
Why were you sent there actually? Did you train to sort of...
No, I was not trained for that.
No.
But the director of medical service went through my files, and he admired the record. They always keep the record. And they say how much I'm interested in the medical work.
That's right.
So that is why I was chosen to be sent to leprosy colony in Wapra.
Now, were you not scared? Because perhaps it is sort of, what's that? It is, were you not scared in a sense that, you may get this disease? Or
No,
you didn't,
not at all.
Right.
I remember when the doctor I was working with at Kasama, he came, advised me, said no, because he was after me, my work, my service. He said, no, you shouldn't go to that place. Otherwise, you will contract this disease.
Yes.
But I said, no, I have to go and save my people. Wherever I'm posted, I must go there by the director of medical service. So I went there. I was not scared, not at all.
No. Now, some of the patients were completely cured, and
some were cured, and some, they have. These are. We have got two types of leprosy. These are reproma leprosy, and then some are very light ones. Yes. Now, to cure these reproma cases, they are easier than you can cure these other diseases, these with small patches, red ones. Yes. You see, they take quite a long time.
How do you differentiate the two? The other one.
The two, you see, yes, the two are. You see, when you look at your patient, you see, has got all these the swelling of the face and so on, the puffy face and so on. This is a repromatis case.
Yeah.
Now the other one is a light one. It doesn't show. That is the most dangerous because it attacks the nerves. And it is in these cases most of them lose their fingers and nails and so on, toes and so on. But not in that one, that repromatis case. No.
Yeah. And you said this one to cure is this one, which.
Yes, this one with lumps around the face and so on, the ears. Yes.
Now, I mean, if you get into contact with the one with the leper, are you likely to have it? Because
yes, of course. That is the most infectious disease, and the one which cuts fingers off. Yes, you are likely to catch it when you touch him, and whenever you get in contact with nose or what mucus.
Ah.
So they are not allowed to be careless,
No.
not to throw about their bandages or other things like that, not at all. So when you get in contact with the one with repromatis case, with the swelling of the ears, swelling of the face, these are the most dangerous cases that one can contract the disease very easily, rather than in these ones which cut the fingers. No.
Now themselves actually are not all that careful because they won't mind actually if other people also got the same disease.
No, they
don't.
Exactly, they don't. Yes.
Ah, yes. And how long were you there?
I there for 1 year.
Only 1 year?
Only 1 year.
Did you ask for a transfer?
No, no.
Just came?
I just came on leave. Then during my stay here, then I was posted to Ndola.
Yes.
While the other doctor was waiting for me at Kabarenje hospital. Yes. Now the director said, no, we can't go back to Kabarenje, not at all. He is going on transfer to Zambezi.
Oh, here in Northwestern Province?
Northwestern Province, just to relieve someone, a microscopist. They had nobody who knew about the microscope, not at all.
No.
So I was posted to Zambezi by then.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, how did you like now working in your own province?
Yes, I liked it very much.
Yes.
I even liked it to be nearer Kasempa than
yes.
Zambezi, not at all. Yes.
And then, because sometimes, if you want to go somewhere, you apply for a transfer to a certain place. Now, did you do it actually during the course of your work?
Yes, I did. I applied to be transferred from Zambezi to Kasempa. But instead of sending me direct to Kasempa, then I was posted to Kankoronkoro.
Oh, to Kankoronkoro,
yes. Which was near Kasempa.
Yeah. Who was the chief in that area?
Was Chief Kasempa? No, Chief Kasempa.
Oh.
That is Chief Kasempa's area. Except across the Kankoronkoro, that was belonged to Chief Ingwe.
Oh.
But where Chief, the present area where Chief Ingwe is staying, that belonged to Chief Kasempa.
Is that right?
Yes,
exactly. That I didn't know. It's today that I've learned of this.
Yes.
Oh, that's good news. Now, so you were at Kankoronkoro.
I was at Kankoronkoro.
You were happy, of course, to treat some of the people that you knew.
Exactly.
And did you find any difficulties, people coming to you, doctor, give us? Because, when you work among your people, they give you more problems. They come even at awkward times to say, well, I'm suffering from this. Could you give us some medicine to take home and so on like that?
There are people living in the village.
Yes.
They don't know our timetable.
No.
When to knock off and what. Whenever they were in trouble, they came even during night time. Can you have this help? Can I be treated for this and so on? To which I attended, of course, kindly.
Yes.
Yes.
Did you have any complaints from people? If someone died at the hospital, died at the dispensary, because naturally, people think he wasn't attended to, or he was given wrong medicine, or things like that. Did you have any such experience?
Perhaps if there were such cases, they didn't come direct to me.
No.
Yes.
Oh, that's very good. So you enjoyed your life, your stay at Kankoronkoro, and then where did you go next?
I came to Kasempa, my beloved place now.
Oh, yes. That's why you decided even to put up this
That was my target. Yes.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yes, I was transferred from Kankoronkoro to Kasempa on the reason that the district commissioner here at Kasempa did not want Mr. Nyirenda to be here because he didn't know the use of microscope. And here at this place, Europeans were always going out on tours, and in these areas they visited, they were likely to be infested with sleeping sickness. Now, the DC by that time decided that we should have someone with experience on microscope, so that they could be blood checked. Every time they came from tour, then their blood was tested. Whether they were free from sleeping sickness, then they were right. So we just transferred the one who was here at Kasempa to go to Kankoronko, and then I could come here to do that job for Europeans. Yes.
Was there any tablets that people would take so that even if they're bitten by chicha flies, they don't get this disease?
Or no, not tablets, no.
But what?
But we have got injections.
Oh, injections.
Yes. Pentamide. Yes. But this is not very safe, not at all.
No.
And it is not advisable.
No.
Not at all. Of course, someone could get this preventive medicine, that dose of injection. And when he goes to the area which is infected with sleeping sickness, that man, he will get that germ, the sleeping sickness in his body. But he won't suffer, he will not suffer himself, not at all. But that sleeping sickness germ, once it will be transferred to a person who had never suffered from sleeping sickness, and it will kill that person instantly, and he will not be cured, because that germ which was taken from that man who took the preventive medicine, that disease could resist from the new treatment into the new body. So usually as a result, it straight away killed that new person, that patient. He died. Although he will be put on treatment of sleeping sickness, the germ itself will resist the medicine. It can't be cured, and as a result, the patient will die. So it is not advisable. Of course, it is there. It is there. Someone can get a treatment of this, preventive medicine. But it is not advisable. Once you go there, in the infected area, you come back, you have carried the disease, then once the the sassafly bites someone who is not infected, it bites that one who is free, then it kills him instantly.
Oh dear man.
So it is not advisable, not at all.
No. Now, actually, during your stay in the medical service, now, did you advise people not to use African medicine for some good reasons, perhaps?
Yes. Yes, exactly. I had to advise them not to use these African medicines, such as for eye drops. It may be stronger, and which will destroy eventually the eyes. It will make the eyes very bad. Yes.
Now, but then, even now, actually, you see that there are certain Zambians who still, use this African medicine. Now, what do you think the reason is? Even though they are near the hospitals?
The reason is because they don't. The first time they go to attend the hospital, then twice, third, they're attending the hospital, and they don't get improvement, not at all. But they must decide. That is why they decided they must try their own medicine. Perhaps it's better than the European one. Yes.
Now, what do you say about these harvest? What do you call them?
Yes, they are harvests.
How do you recommend their work?
No, I don't actually, because their work is a guesswork. Now, the difference between the European treatment, such as say someone has got fever in his body, he has felt
cold. Then the exact what they do in the hospital is to take blood. They test it under microscope. Then they find the exact what disease what he may be having, what relapsing fever, maybe sleeping sickness, maybe what having what malaria. Then the European at the hospital will take exact medicine to cure that disease. But in which case, our doctors in the village, they'll be just guessing.
They give you this.
They give you this, they give you that, they give you it doesn't make you any better, not at all. Because it remains a guesswork. Yes.
Now, what would you say actually on certain cases, where someone had gone to the hospital, but then they failed to treat him, then he goes back to this African medicine, then he's treated and then he's well again. Now, what do you say the problem is for the modern treatment failing to cure him, but then he is helped by these roots, leaves, and perhaps drinking roots and things like that. What do you say? I mean, what do you say?
There are the different diseases, of course, which the doctors fail to cure at the hospitals. When that patient goes back to his home or African doctors, then that man is cured. Well, it may be that the medicine that he was taking at the hospital was still working in his body. And when he went to African doctors, our doctors, then that was actually time that the medicine had worked in his body.
You see, but some of them actually are discharged on grounds that, the doctors declare that, they have failed, so you can go home. Now, why don't they know, of course, why don't they know that, well, the medicine is still working in this man and let's not discharge him. Even if he discharges, they should tell him, our medicine is still working in our body. They don't do that?
Yes, they don't, of course. We have got different medicines, of course. African doctors have got different medicines in which they can cure a patient that they have failed to cure at the hospital.
Yes.
Of course, in this case, I do not know how it comes about. I do not know how they get cured, because I've never tried any. Yes, this, yes.
Well then, of course, after working at, did you retire at the Kasempa?
I retired at the Kasempa, 1968.
Oh, 1968, quite recently.
Yes.
Now, what did you decide to do now before you retired? Did you have any plans before you retired, or you just retired and then began to think what to do next?
No, I had a plan. I had planned to build a house just here.
Which is this one?
Which is this one here, 1960.
Yes.
And while I was still waiting for my retirement, and I was still building this house for almost 10 years.
Yes.
Because I retired in 1968, which was almost 8 years.
Exactly.
Yes.
Now, what are you doing now, Mr. Mutwale? Could you tell us?
Farming.
You're farming?
Farming, yes. Because before I retired, I had to buy my own tractor.
Yes.
Yes. Now I'm actually a farmer. I'm just farming.
Now, is running of a tractor expensive as is running of a car, or it's cheaper to run a tractor?
No, it isn't. Oh no, it is not cheaper running a tractor, not at all, because any spare parts that you buy, they are more expensive than the spare parts you can buy on a car. Yes.
Well, how do you compare the two then? Who benefits from whatever is doing? One who is working and a farmer. Who benefits more than the other?
I think a farmer.
A farmer.
A farmer benefits. Yes, because you see, he has got so many sources where to get his the money, his living.
Yes.
You can grow vegetables, you can grow potatoes, you can grow banana, you can grow oranges. Now, from all these, what he has planted is nearly gaining every day 1 ingwe, 2 ingwe, 3 ingwe, every day. Whilst the one who is working, you won't find the dairy.
No.
He isn't going out until at the end of the month. Yes.
Well, thank you then, Mr. Mutwale, for being able to tell us more about medical work in Kasempa district and elsewhere you have worked, especially Northern Province and Rapura Province. Now, we would then say that because we are almost behind time, we have to interview other people at 14 hours, and also you have an appointment at the Boma exactly at 14 hours. But then we are very sorry to have delayed you. Then I think we would end there, except of course if you have got something that we haven't discussed, which you think you can, let us know, and then we can include it. It can be included actually in our records here.
I see. I think I would just add when I started my education. This is beginning from home.
Yes.
You know, Mutwale village is in Kasempa district. Now my movement was very difficult to go to Mumbwa every year. Now, in between the Kasempa and Mumbwa, there's a river which is called Kafua.
Yes.
You know, being a young man there, I had to travel. Whenever the school closed, I remained at a mission, working there. Then after working, until the school was open. Then whenever I wanted to come and see the parents, I had to leave the Nambara mission to come to Kasempa. Now think of this, it is a long distance. It had been a very long distance for me, for a young man like me by that time, traveling to come and see the parents here in Kasempa. Then when the school was nearer, I always made it exactly that before the school opens, I must be at Nambara mission. So my journeys always took me almost 6 days from Kasempa to Mumbwa. Now from Mumbwa, again when I was transferred to Kafue to start my new career, that had to take me more days, almost 2 weeks.
Yeah.
From Kasempa to Kafue, traveling on foot. That took me a considerable time, days. Yes.
Sorry to take you back. Actually, there was a point, there was a question that I was, I was asking, as we started. This was actually, were you married there, and you always said no. But when did you get married?
Yes, exactly. I was married in 1939 at the Chinyunyu dispensary.
At Chinyunyu dispensary.
Yes.
Now, and you have children, and
yes.
Any of your children, of course, where are they now, and what are they doing?
There are 3 of them are in Osaka. One is in Kabwe as a Deputy High Commissioner of Prisons. Now he is now in Britain. His further studies. Now the other one is in the army. He is now a captain there. Now
there's one at the university, no?
Yes, there is one in the university there. Then there is Mrs. Chiwego at Mehera as a teacher there, teacher. Yes, the other one is working in Osaka in selling what it is spare parts, motor spare parts. Yes.
And the little ones are still in school?
The rest are still in school.
Yes. That's very good. Have you got anything to ask him, Mr. Walker?
No, just one question about Zambezi. You were there for what, did you say 2 years?
I was there for 2 years.
And at that time, was there a doctor there?
There was a doctor, yes.
Were there any out clinics or anything at all?
Yes, there were clinics there outside. Yes.
And did you have to travel out and visit those clinics yourself?
Yes. Yes, I did. Where are the people who did what the survey? We were in the Zambezi, we went out, taking history from person to person, to know the Gulf Street, what has caused the Mutwale people from village to village, from person to person, and so on. We did this survey in 1948, and after our findings, we had to send these to the government. Our recommendation, the same found these people are suffering from venereal disease, from syphilis, gonorrhea, and so on. So we should introduce, the government should introduce recommended list to the government that general treatment in the village should be established, should be started. And mostly, many people had no children who were surprised the first trip when I was married by that time. I found a woman